రా సంజయ్, ఇంకా సాయంత్రం పోవాలా. సినిమాటిక్.
Bro, a glass is here.
My hands are freaking cold. వాన కళ్ళు దానా నిలువ చెప్పమనా. Come on, Sanjay, walk.
ఇలాగే వెళ్దాం బ్రో.
ఇప్పుడు మనం చేయబోతున్నాం ప్రపంచంలో అత్యంత పెద్దమైన సహజ యాత్ర. మీరు సిద్ధమా? వీటిని హెక్సాగాన్ ప్లేట్స్ అంటారు. చూసారా హెక్సాగాన్ షేప్లు ఎంత బాగున్నాయో. కమ్ సంజయ్.
They show you in Game of Thrones an outside shot of Castle Greyjoy. They show you this rickety old castle on a cliff. That is Dunluce Castle they're showing you, obviously with a lot of CGI. There's no actual fit. What they did is they came over, took a few photographs of the castle from the outside, and again when they show you that the next scene is in the Iron Islands, there it is, guys. That's Dunluce Castle directly, and for very dramatic look because it's right beside the ocean. That's it right in front of you there. So much better up here than it was in Dublin. by a Scottish family called the MacDonalds. They came over from Scotland. They were exiled out of Scotland. They built their castle here. They built it on the edge of a cliff for defensive reasons. One day there was a storm going on in the 1800s, and during, very, very much so on the side of, they'd be Unionist, okay? The Northern Irish coastline, communities around here, very much so on the Unionist or the pro-British side of things, okay? So once you don't drive through these towns and big green buses with Irish flags and leprechauns in them, you're absolutely fine, right? Some people ask, well, some people are very curious, right? Because when they hear about the conflict, they wonder, you know, what's everything like nowadays? And look, guys, everything is not fine, right? The big plus now is, while absolutely there's the ones who lived through it. The younger generations, they don't really care. They didn't live through it, right? They're living now through peace, right? And peace, like, guys, peace is addictive, right? Once you get a taste of peace, you don't want to go back to war, right? So what needs to happen is, in a few generations' time, when the people who did live through it all, when they die off, the hatred will kind of die off with them, and you know, we'll have full peace. And one of the reasons why we have peace up here, guys, is because of people like you, tourists, right? Tourism. Because, ladies and gentlemen, right, what do tourists bring into a country? What do you guys bring into our economy? Anybody?
Money.
Yes, you bring in money, right? And whether it's, you know, you guys bring money in Belgium, our company, you know, you give people jobs, you know, like, 1 second now. You know, like I said, you guys all bring in money, right? And it's very, very... Have a little walk down, get a few photographs of the dark hedges, and we'll go back to the bus about 11:30. Any questions for our listeners in the wild?
No.
No? Go and enjoy.
Game of Thrones.
It was 1972, and the families of the people who were killed have been told for years and years, your father, your brother, your friend, your son was a terrorist, had a weapon, shot at the British soldiers, and these family members claim no, they didn't. And in the late 90s, another inquiry was set up, and it took them 11 years to finish the inquiry. And in 2010, the inquiry was finalised. It was given to the British Prime Minister at that time, as a guy called David Cameron. He read it, and he stood up in British Parliament, and there was big screen TVs all around the city of Derry, because they knew the findings were going to come out. And David Cameron, he stood up, and in front of the entire world, he said, he said they were killed unlawfully and unjustifiably. And he admitted that it was basically the fault of the British soldiers, and he apologised. And the relief that went around Derry that day, for these people who for 38 years have been trying to clear their families' names, you cannot put it into words, right? You cannot put it into words. Anyway, guys, sorry, I know that was a lot of talking, yeah, whether you knew nothing about the Northern Irish conflict, or you knew a young nationalist up here in Northern Ireland, right? So you're living in a very, very oppressed society. The governments up here, they don't represent you, right? They don't have your community's interest at heart. And when you try and protest at the injustices that your side of the community is suffering at the hands of the heavy-handed young Catholics, young nationalists like yourself, teenagers, kids, unarmed, have been shot and killed like dogs in the street in cold blood. Well, something just snapped. And for all these Catholics who said, look, let's go down the route of peace, they just said, to hell with, and that's let us meet fire with fire. And these young nationalists, young Catholics all over Northern Ireland after Bloody Sunday, they were full of